after we've identified the shooter, and his name has been made public. He's from the Dallas area, so the FBI, Dallas PD assisted. We ran warrants down on his residence, his actual parents' house, and I believe hotel residence, to see what evidence we could glean from that. The FBI has his computers, cell phones, and other evidence, and they're in the process of trying to do digital forensics, as the SAC mentioned, to go ahead and ascertain what type of evidence we can get off of that. The shooter had no CCH, no criminal history. So we had no documentable criminal history on him. He was in the U.S. Army, and that's been posted on the media, in 2008. He was in basic training. I think early on in basic training they realized, from what I've seen, that he was not a fit for the Army, and so they separated him from the Army before he got out of the training mode. There were some questions about his fitness for duty. That information will be forthcoming later on as we dig into the investigation. He also had a private security license in the state of Texas. Again, he had no criminal history, and the license has expired. I understand he worked as a security guard for several firms, but he was not an active security guard at the time of this. He had 8 weapons with him. He had 3 on his person, and he had 5 in his vehicle. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms has run traces on all the weapons. All of the weapons were legally obtained by the shooter. None of them were stolen, anything else. And now we're running checks on them to see if they were used in any crimes. But at this time, we haven't uncovered anything in that regard. The big question that we're dealing with right now is, what's his motive? Why did he do this? Well, the big question is, we don't know. That's what the investigation is trying to find out. We do know that he had neo-Nazi ideation. He had patches, he had tattoos, even his signature, verified that. That's one thing we do know. We are trying to get into his computer and on social media and find out, whether he had anything that he'd publicized or been out. We're looking around, we're seeing trying to find what he looked at, and trying to get every information we can. This is the ongoing part of the investigation, and we have a situation that once we figure that out, hopefully we figure that out and get definitive about it, we can go public with that down the road. To me, it looks like he targeted the location rather than a specific group of people. He was very random in the people he killed. It didn't matter the age, same race or sex. He just shot people, which is horrific in itself.